Hello, and I am so excited to be back. I know I've been a little bit busy in the past few months, and I did let all of you listeners know that I probably would not be doing a weekly podcast. So I know it's been almost 2 weeks since I've done anything, but so this will go out tomorrow, hopefully, or when you're listening to it, it will be today. And the date, it's funny, you hear me rattling papers. Let's see, tomorrow will be the 19th, or today when you're listening to it, it will be July 19th already. Can you believe that? That's a shame that I don't even know what day of the week it is or what the actual date is. But holy smokes, it has just been a busy last few months. I hope you've listened to some of the podcasts, the previous podcast, so you could hear my lovely voice. Hopefully you were able to connect with one of those podcasts, but I'm back, and yes, I still will be doing at least every other week. I'm trying to catch up with life right now. July is almost halfway over, which is absolutely nuts. Absolutely. I cannot believe it, because if tomorrow or today, when you're hearing this, is the 19th, and I'm rambling because my brain is just going 90 to nothing. This all started in May. In May, we went to Cancun for a wedding. Then in June, we went to Las Vegas, and poor planning on my part. When we got back from Las Vegas, I had a girls' trip the very next day. Our flight did not come in from Vegas until 11:30. So we were home around 12:30 or 1. It was around 1 something. And then I had a girls' trip that weekend. So it's go. Then we had a few weeks just doing nothing. And then we went to Kansas. Why did I go to Kansas? Sadly, and I don't really want to talk about it because I'll probably start crying. My daughter has moved. She and her husband, the family have moved. Her husband got a wonderful promotion, and they have moved. And the crazy thing is, so used to her being so nearby with my grandbabies, missing all 3 girls and my son-in-law. But they were like 8 minutes away, and now like they're 8.5 hours away. But you know what? That's not bad. So I'm thankful that we are healthy. We are doing great. And I hope that your summer has been more relaxed. I mean, it has been a relaxing summer. It just feels like we compacted so much. And then I have a grandson coming in a few months. So it has been a wonderful year for my family. Wonderful and hard and sad. And it's been fun, again, and exhausting. But let me tell you, one of the hardest trips I've ever had to take was going to Kansas. And a lot of people are like, Kansas? Why are they going to Kansas? There's nothing but wheat fields. No, absolutely. Kansas is an absolute beautiful state. What we saw, we flew with the girls and help them get situated, unpack and stuff. And but it was probably one of the hardest trips I've ever had to take, because I had to say goodbye, and those goodbyes are hard. And I actually stink. I absolutely stink at goodbyes. I'm no good at saying goodbye. And I know that I'm going to see my daughter again, and I'm going to see my son-in-law and my granddaughters, but it was so stinking hard. I mean, it's one thing when they're 8 minutes away and come over for lunch or do whatever. But we're all fine. She seems to be settling well, and we love them and miss them. And guess what? They've only been gone a week. And I feel like they've been gone for weeks. But I hope that everyone else you are having a wonderful, wonderful summer. Well, I should say, welcome to Ticket to Life. If this is your first podcast and you've heard it this far, thank you for listening, because I'm sure that first part will mean nothing to you. But for my listeners that listen to my podcasts, I thank you. I can't thank you enough. This is Henrie, and I am very appreciative of all of you who tune in and find time just to listen to Henrie, which is me, just talk about life. I talk about everything. Life is funny because you never know from day to day what's going to happen. You just have no clue whatsoever. So again, I hope that everyone is having a great summer. I hope that you have had some summer vacations or some relaxing time at home with your family and your friends. And I hope that all of the educators are probably doing a countdown or not, because school will be starting soon. And today, like in Texas, like where I'm at, it's going to be 104. And it is so funny because people go, "Oh my gosh, how can you live there?" Because I've lived here all my life. I'm just used to it. Yeah, I may complain, "Oh, it's so hot," but you jump in the pool or you go have a refreshment and you're fine, unless you just have to work. You think of all those hardworking people that have to work, like fixing the roads, any job outside. Those are just awful. Now that I can't imagine. And the crazy thing, you always see them. They're totally covered. Their arms, their legs, they're like in winter attire almost, just covered, which they have to protect themselves from the sun. But anyway, I hope that all the educators are knowing I will be thinking of you. And I'm sure I'll be talking about educators soon, because we do have quite a few friends who are in education, and I will be praying for all of you to have great students, and not even the students, but pray that you have good parents, good supportive parents this year. But now let me say, this is back to saying goodbye. Saying goodbye is very hard when someone is ill. Death will be come knocking at their door. You're not required to say goodbye, but it is nice to say goodbye because you have so many people who regret not saying goodbye, or some people who just barely missed it, and that loved one or cherished friend has passed on and they didn't get to say goodbye. Now, so that's why I will not complain too much about my daughter being in Kansas, because she is alive and well and happy, and I'm alive and well and happy. So you've got to find the positive in everything. I don't mean to start crying if I keep talking about this, but I mean, you just really have no idea. That was the hardest thing. Both my kids went to college, and that was tough. That was really tough, sending them off to college, and again, they weren't really that far away. They were about 2.5 hours from where we lived, but still, just sending them away. Again, I'm always saying this: the doctor hands you this beautiful baby, and you get to love this baby and nurture this baby and help raise that baby to be a good human being. And then they grow up, and then you have to send them to college, and then they become police officers or teachers or whatever. And it was really tough. So I understand when people say it's hard to say goodbye, because I get it. I really do. I get it. I always try to say goodbye to my husband. I just don't later. And I do we both always try to give each other a kiss goodbye, and I love you, because you never know. You just never know. Jesus may come, and then you get to say goodbye. Or you, as my husband always says, you could get hit by a bus. I don't want to get hit by a bus, but you just never know. When death comes knocking at your door, get ready to open it. I mean, you really can't get ready to open it, because it may just, I could be talking to you today, and then tomorrow I may not be here. I may be in Kansas now. But anyway, just wanted to say hi, and I hope that everyone's having a good summer. And just to let you know that it is important to always keep that communication open with your parents. I know you have, I have a very close-knit family. My daughter and I are very close. My son and I are very close. They confide in me. They talk to me. I talk to them, and it's awesome. It is good. We have a good relationship. I haven't pissed their spouses off yet that I know of, but I'm pretty vocal about certain things. But I do piss some people off, but hey, that's just who I am. And like I've said, being a mom is one of the most rewarding things in my life that I have ever done. I loved being pregnant. I loved being a mommy. I love being a mom. And I absolutely love being a grandmother. So, on that note, those of you who have good relationships with your children, keep that open mind. Like if they do something, think about before you snap. What were you doing at their age? They're not you. And always don't compare them to other people because they are who they are, and love them. And try to remember, just spend any time they want to talk to you, make that time. Oh, I want to share something also with you. I just think it's absolutely nuts. I listen to Father Mike Schmidt on YouTube. He's this priest that does these great, talks about everything. So I really enjoy, if you're Catholic or if you're not, you could listen to him. He just has so many, I love his viewpoints on things. But he brought up and I had to look up these stats. I think his stats were a little different than what I have found, but in 2023, the stats for the average American who touch their phone, just like, oh, make sure it's there, make sure it's, it's like your lifeline, is over 2,600 times per day. And for the really heavy users, over 5,000 times a day. Can you even believe that? Because, I love my cell phone. As in past podcasts, for all you listeners, you will hear me randomly talk about iPhones, or any type of cellular device. That just has become our lifeline to everything, which is unfortunately not good because it takes away from our life. It takes away from our time. And it's not a good thing. I'm doing some research. I'm going to be doing a podcast on, it's called hurry sickness. I don't know if any of you have heard this. It's called hurry sickness because Americans are always in a hurry. That's what we do. We got to be there. We got to do this. And as you see, I speak very fast. I don't mean to. It's just who I am. I have so much to say, and my mind is, again, always going 90 to nothing. If you're around me and I don't know you, I may be quiet but I'm like getting all this information about you, and yes, I keep forgetting to turn my phone off. Speaking of, when I'm doing a podcast, but, the average American will check their phone once every 10 to 12 minutes. Now, are you guilty of that? Honestly, are you? Because I hope I'm not, but sometimes I think that I could be waiting for a certain email or just ding, oh, it's a text from, some junk mail or something, or junk text. So it's something we really, I feel, need to work on. I know I do. To think that we pick up our phones and spend more time on our phones than we do sometimes family or friends, or doing something simple for ourselves. So anyway, this is a podcast to let you know I'm still alive and moving, and to say that our summer has really been very busy and we've enjoyed every minute of it. I'm going to say goodbye for now, but I will probably have another podcast for you this weekend, and I'll get back on track on the every other week, and hopefully in the fall, because I have so many listeners. I hope that, no, I don't have that many, but I do have quite a few. 32 countries. Thank you, 32 countries that have listened to me and download one or the other. I think it was funny because you can look at your stats, and I think it's funny because like in a few, I did one on swingers a couple of months ago, and I thought it was kind of funny because it's like lots of downloads on that one. I guess people are really curious to hear what I had to say or wondering if they were swingers. But anyway, this is Henrie. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to Ticket to Life. I appreciate you, love you, and I will get with you pretty soon. Have a great remainder of your summer. Oh yes, most importantly, please go find your blessings.